Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kobold, here with my guy, Max Faulkner. Max, happy November.
Wow, November 1st. I cannot believe. And happy Halloween, everybody. I hope everyone had a spooktacular Halloween. I mean, I hope no one was too scared. Okay. My wife and I, we were lucky enough to watch the movie Halloween. Have you seen Halloween, Cobreezy?
Oh, yeah, that's what I have seen.
Okay. One of two, probably. The other one is Casper. Ghost, but
the friendly ghost. The friendly ghost.
Everyone's seen Ghostbusters. Okay, that's a good one. So I wouldn't call that. But I hope everyone got lots of candy. Got to spoil themselves. Hopefully not too much. Okay, you don't want to be throwing up and crapping yourself the next morning. We're not kids anymore. When we were able to eat, you put all the candy on the floor. You get the pillow sack. Pillow sack, dump it on the floor, separate the chocolate with the hard candies. Man, that was good days, but can't do that anymore, huh, Breezy?
No, not anymore. Definitely didn't have any candy yesterday. I heard you got a little ice cream though.
We did get ice cream at old Kilwin's. Kilwin's ice cream shop. Yeah. They got fudge. They got candy there too. But we said, nah, let's go for the ice cream. But what was adorable was my dog. Okay, she dressed up. I have pictures. She dressed up as a flying pig. And I must say, we got a lot flying pig, and we got a lot of people looking. A lot of people were just she. which comes to what we did over the weekend, Cole Breezy. There was this huge pumpkin festival here, okay, in Tennessee. It's called the Pumpkin Fest, and it was bigger than I was expecting. Hundreds of people. They blocked off the roundabout. Right. And so like streets are closed and there's vendors, all different types of food, drinks. It was a great time. But there was a contest it was a pet costume contest, and we put Luna in it. All right. So we got up on the main stage, okay, where the live music was playing. They took a break. We did this costume contest. We get on the stage. Okay. This is called a pumpkin fest. So we dressed Luna in a pumpkin, as you're going to see right here. She dresses as a pumpkin and she's adorable. Okay. We go when we're on the stage, people in the crowd are going, just so cute. Okay. When it comes to the champion, hear this, Breezy. All right. This is who ended up winning. This lady shows up with two pit bulls. First of all, I didn't know that you could have two. I didn't know that was a thing. You could have two animals, two dogs. She had two pit bulls, and all she did was put a skirt on it and sunglasses. Apparently, that's cuter than Luna as a pumpkin. Get out of here.
Was it a combo costume? Like, were they together with the sunglasses, or
there was only one pit bull wearing sunglasses, the other one wasn't? So maybe it was. I didn't see. I didn't see like if they were supposed to be a couple, because they were both wearing skirts, so I didn't get it. But I will say that the owner put on some cowboy boots or something. So the thing was rigged. All right, Luna by far was the cutest pumpkin out there. All right, I guess next year, buddy, we got to go as the flying pig. The flying pig might win. Okay, that was quite adorable. But other than
might have been a local, might have been a repeat customer.
Yep. I did see her winking at one of the judges. So yeah, there's something going on there.
Could have been a little inside deal there, Max.
I'm a little upset. Luna was very upset. She couldn't stop crying. She's got an eye infection now by how much she was crying. Oh. And poor thing, she's tough though. She's tough. Okay, we'll get it next year.
An eye infection. That's tough. But this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got three sports to talk about, Max. But before we get into that, let us know what you did yesterday for the podcast.
Oh, well, first of all, hey, everyone, thank you for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast here on a Wednesday night. We'll probably get it out tomorrow morning on Thursday. But hey, I know that we've been only posting on YouTube. And, I'm going to say this tonight, that we are officially on Spotify. We are officially on Apple Podcasts. We are officially on iHeartRadio as well, to go along with YouTube. And obviously, we're posting on Twitter every single episode, every single clip that we have. So if you're tired of watching it on YouTube, hey, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. And also Twitter. Please follow us on all of the platforms if you're able to do it. We appreciate all of our fans out there. Thank you. But other than that, Cole Breezy, how about we jump into some sports, huh?
Hell yeah. Big update right there for us, Max. Thanks for doing that. This week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast, like I said, we're going to be talking about 3 different sports. We're talking about our Buffaloes in Colorado. We're going to be talking about the NFL like we do every week. You know, this podcast is a big fantasy football focus. But we're going to start here in the NBA with breaking news.
Oh.
The James Harden saga is finally over. Not that we were following it, not that we really cared.
No.
But I'm glad that we have a conclusion to James Harden bitching and crying and moaning again. He did it in Houston. He did it in Brooklyn. He did it in Philly. James Harden has been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers receive James Harden, P.J. Tucker. Let's not sleep on that little ad in there.
Good D.
And Philip Petrusev. Doesn't matter. The Sixers receive Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, a 26 protected first rounder from OKC, a 28 unprotected first, 2 seconds, and a pick swap. I think the Clippers, Max, just right off the bat, they won the trade because they got the best player in the deal. The Sixers received just a bunch of role players. I mean, Robert Covington will probably start at the 4. Marcus Morris, you know, my guy from Kansas. All these guys are a little older besides KJ Martin. Got a little draft capital, though. But I think the Clippers won this deal. What are your thoughts on the deal, Max?
Well, you know, you first got to lead it off that James Harden is by far one of the biggest douchebags in the entire NBA. He went up for it.
We nominated him last week.
He's already okay. Everyone,
2 weeks ago.
Last year, he was nominated for the 2022 NBA's biggest douchebag. He has been resubmitted into the nominee of 2023 NBA's biggest douchebag. We have a long season to go, but for him to be nominated this early in the year,
yeah,
I was honestly expecting it. You know, it's so funny because James Harden, he actually was trying to get on a plane in Philadelphia to go along with this team, and the security guard said no. You're not coming on. So obviously the coaches told him, no, he's not coming on here. Or Joel Embiid was like, no, get him out here. Get him out here. He's toxic. Okay, once again, he's a poison. He's the poison apple and Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. He's ugly. And
whoa.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe it's time to shave up the beard. Okay, maybe it's time to just get rid of that thing because you know what? No one cares about this guy anymore. I swear he no better place to go than LA, full of narcissists and sociopaths. That's exactly where you should be, James Harden. I hope you have fun gloating about yourself along with all the Hollywood actors.
He joins the Clippers. He reunites with his buddy Russell Westbrook, who they couldn't share the floor together. They're both 34, by the way, and we know Paul George. He's 33. Kawhi's 32. That's a older core right there, Max. I don't know if Terrence Mann is going to start. I don't know if they're going to bring Harden or Westbrook off the bench. I'm not sure. It's only one ball, and all 4 of those guys need that ball.
Yeah.
Just going to Paul George and Kawhi. You know, PG was my guy in Indiana. You know, we kind of cut ties. We lost ties with him when he left us. But PG and Kawhi signed with the Clippers in the summer of 2019. 4 seasons they played in LA, Max. Here's their games played. For Paul George, he played 48 games, then 54, then 31, then 56 last year. For Kawhi, 57, 52, Goose, and 52 last year. Okay? Those guys aren't staying healthy. James Harden, he led the league in assists last year, but that belly and those titties are bouncing. That belly's getting bigger. Titties are bouncing. Russell Westbrook can't hit a jumper. I mean, I'll take Westbrook on my team any day, but it's only one ball for those 4 guys. This doesn't put them in the championship tier for me.
No way. I mean, you say those names and you're like, oh, that's an all-star team. It's like
5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
5-6 years
10,
ago.
Let's go 10. Let's go 10 years ago. Maybe they would have flew together. But yeah, no, they're all too old. And It's just I cannot wait to hear what's going to happen in the locker room. Okay, these are our four. Quiet doesn't really have an ego, but three other guys do. All right, those guys are going to be bumping heads, and we're going to be hearing about it very soon.
Bumping heads, bumping gums.
And James Harden will be starring in the next Space Jam 3 as an evil villain, space villain or whatever. I didn't even see the second Space Jam because I don't care. But watch, it's going to happen. He's going to go in Hollywood now.
I've yet to see the second one also, but you might have a little plot there for Space Jam 3. But just to look at the Sixers real quick, their new projected starting five. We're looking at Tyrese Maxey at the point, the young guard from Kentucky, who I snagged in fantasy. Okay.
Did you draft him or?
Oh yeah, I drafted.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, he's definitely worth the draft pick. He's good.
DeAnthony Melton's going to be starting in the backcourt probably with him, defensive combo guard, whatever. Tobias Harris, Robert Covington probably, and then of course the MVP Joel Embiid, who James Harden for some reason doesn't want to play with him. It's a solid starting five. It's a playoff team, but it's not a contender team. I'm not sure if Philly is done making moves here, Max. I'm not sure if they're done making moves. They might try to get somebody else involved here.
I like the defense in that combo, though. It definitely seems like they have some guys that will actually play defense. You know, there are people in the NBA that's all they do is that they actually try to get steals and blocks, which I really respect considering the NBA does not play any defense. At least there's a couple out there that do it. So Robert Covington and what was it, Milton. They play some hard D. So, I mean, 76ers might surprise some faces when you got Joel Embiid on that team. Yeah, maybe. But not a championship team. I don't think so.
I'm with you there. MVP Joel Embiid. Let's not forget that. I think people are forgetting reigning MVP. Moving into some college football here, Max. We've been making it a little habit here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast to be talking about the Colorado Buffaloes. Okay, coming out here to Boulder. Last week they went to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to play UCLA, the Bruins. Beat them down 28-16. Shedeur Sanders passed for only 217 yards and one touchdown while being sacked 7 more times. Wow. 7 more sacks.
Wow.
Shedeur Sanders has been sacked 8 more times than any other quarterback in the nation. 8 more sacks than any other quarterback in the nation. Sucks. My goodness. Coach Prime said he's hitting that portal this summer, baby. He's hitting that portal this winter.
Back to the portal.
Going to be a whole new offensive line. I smell it already. Shedeur Sanders is still third in the nation in passing yards. He trails Washington's Michael Penix Jr. and Caleb Williams of USC. Colorado had 24 rushing attempts in this game against UCLA. 24 rushing attempts for 25 yards. 24 rushing attempts for 25 yards. UCLA outgained the Buffaloes by 245 total yards. Yeesh. Max, give me your opinion on those numbers.
Well, I think it's safe to say that, having fun on top of that, Buffalo has, the flames have burned out. All right. And, I don't know. I don't know if it deserves a segment anymore, Cole Breezy, because they keep losing. They just keep losing. I know primetime's fun. It's fun to picture Coach Prime on a Buffalo. I still want to see it happen. I'm telling you, let's spark the team up. But, this team is coming back down to earth. They got some studs on the team. The quarterback is a stud. But once again, when he's getting sacked 7 times, there's not much you can do. Okay, that's 7. Man, I don't know. But there is one big story that we're about to talk about, everybody, and this is the big reason why we had to bring this up this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. Cole Breezy, please tune everyone in.
Definitely debating on whether to talk about the Buffaloes. Like you said, they're 4-4 now. Only 1-4 in the Pac-12, kind of becoming irrelevant on the field. So why really talk about them? But we had some news out of Pasadena, California. After the loss, after that beatdown from the Bruins, the Buffaloes of Colorado, they returned to the locker room. They found that some of their jewelry was missing. It had been stolen, Max. Reportedly, these chains belonged to multiple players and coaches and were worth multiple thousands of dollars. The Pasadena Police Department has launched an investigation into the incident. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders believes the NCAA should reimburse the players and coaches. Max, give me your thoughts on this situation.
All right. Couple things here. Number one, if a college team is being robbed in California, instead of blaming the NCAA, I'm going to go ahead and blame the state. The state of California should be paying back those players, should be reimbursing them for what they lost. Okay. California has lost its mind. All right. We obviously crack jokes about the homeless situation, which is, once again, continues to get worse. Oh, apparently they decriminalized prostitution. So there's a bunch of hookers walking around now.
Interesting. That's breaking news.
Oh, you didn't hear about that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Going great in California. Get them cheap. And then obviously they also have a no cash bail policy now. So these gold chains, or I'm sorry, the jewelry. Sorry, this jewelry that was stolen, they're never going to see it again. They will never see it again. And even if they caught the people that did it, they will be back on the street the next day. That is where the direction of California has gone, and it is such a shame. I'm sure those Buffaloes are happy to be back in Colorado, because get the hell out of California. Oh, it's disgusting.
I got to agree with you there, Max. You can't really blame the NCAA on this. You got to look at the security, whoever's in charge of the surveillance of the facility. I mean, it's not on the NCAA here.
No.
You got to look at, state of California. That's fine with me. Unfortunate circumstance, but yeah, they're not going to see those chains. Nope. They're not going to see those chains again.
Nope.
Just to finish up here on the Buffaloes, moving forward, this Saturday, they're going to host the 16th ranked Beavs of Oregon State. I'm going to predict a beat down there, Max, probably by two touchdowns. Two touchdowns. They need 2 wins here to finish up to be bowl eligible. Next week, after they get beat by Oregon State this week, they're going to host Arizona. Then they go to Washington State, and then they go to 18th ranked Utah.
Ugh, I don't think they're going to get it, man.
You're going to say no. You're going to say no for the Buffaloes.
I think they can get Arizona. They're not giving the Beavs.
Nope.
The Wildcats of Washington State are damn good.
Cougars?
And then, I'm sorry, the Cougars. Sorry. There's a lot of Wildcats. We brought that up.
Too many.
Too many Wildcats. The Cougars, yeah. And then Utah are arguably the best in the Pac-12. Arguably.
Nope.
Okay, they are really good. So sorry, Buffs. I don't think you're getting into a bowl game.
Yeah, they're losing to both Oregon State and Utah. That one's on the road in Salt Lake City for that Utah game last week of the season. Must wins against Arizona and Washington State. They can do it. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to be behind the Buffaloes. I say they win 2 games. They sneak into a bowl and get pounded by somebody. Moving along this week, Max, we got more breaking news.
Oh.
This time, out of the NFL, the Las Vegas Raiders, once one of your favorite teams, they decided to make some changes. They decided to make some changes with their personnel, boys. Josh McDaniels, he was given his walking papers. I think it was this morning. This was midway through his second season with Vegas. This was only his second year there.
Yeah.
Finishes with a 9-16 record with the Raiders. He was a head coach here in Denver in, I want to say, 2009 and 2010. So including those 2 years as a head coach, Josh McDaniels, he's 21-36. I'm not taking that record. I don't think this guy's a head coach. He spent 14 seasons as an offensive coordinator. I believe 13 with New England. General manager Dave Ziegler was also relieved of his duties. Offensive coordinator Mick Lombardi was also canned. McDaniels called the plays, so I don't know why the offensive coordinator is getting fired, because McDaniels freaking called the plays. But Antonio Pierce is the new interim head coach. Champ Kelly is the new interim GM. Max, give me your thoughts on McDaniels and that shitty-ass record.
It's just the Raiders. It's just that organization. You guys are playing in Vegas, man. Hookers walking the street, a bunch of people, not even real fans that are there. It's just a tourist spot. Like there's no real fans. It's just like, oh, let's go see a Raiders game for $300 while we're drunk and a hooker is sitting on our lap at the same time. It's like and there's probably slot machines inside of the stadium. I wouldn't
be surprised.
I would not be surprised. That's probably where a lot of people are going as well. So I think it's just the organization in general. I think it's crappy, but it is time for a new direction. The Raiders have not done well. I don't know. It's been a while. So whatever.
If you bring a hooker with you to a Raiders game, is it half off for her? Is it free? If you share the seat, if she's sitting on your lap?
That would be that's a good deal right there. I like that. Probably if you buy the ticket, you get the hooker half off. That's probably that's probably how they get people into the seats. That's probably what happens.
It's a throw-in. It's a throw-in.
I'm sure that's going to be happening in LA soon as well. So be ready, LA. Be ready. Chargers and Rams games, free prostitutes.
Let's look at the Raiders on the field here real quick, Max. We hear that Jimmy Garoppolo, our guy Zach, one of his favorite quarterbacks, he's getting benched. Max, he was awful the other night. He's getting benched in favor of your guy from Purdue, Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Give us
O'Connell.
Give us a couple nuggets on your guy O'Connell, who's going to be taking over for the Raiders.
This is so exciting to hear that a Purdue quarterback is going to be starting in the league. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I don't think we've seen a starting quarterback from Purdue since Drew Brees. I can't. Drew Brees. Let me put my glasses on for this. Okay. Aiden O'Connell, I'm telling you right now, is underrated. Okay. When Jeff Bohm became the head coach of Purdue, he completely transformed the Boilermakers, completely transformed that organization. Sadly, he moved on to Louisville and beat your Notre Dame Irish, by the way. Big game. He underrated coach as well. There was a time where the Boilers were called the Spoilermakers because they upset, I believe it was Michigan State, Ohio State, and it might have even been Iowa. Sorry, Iowa. They had just this miraculous season. Okay. But let's go to Aiden O'Connell. All right. In 2021, he had 3,712 yards with 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but his passing percentage or completion percentage, was 71.8%. That's damn high.
Very good.
And they were a passing team like that. They kept chugging. They kept chugging with Aiden O'Connell. In 2022, he had 3,490 yards with 22 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Went down a little bit at 64.1%, but that is still very high completion percentage. In football, everybody, if you are, I believe they said that if you were above at least 62%, then you are a high caliber quarterback. If you're under 60%, you're kind of in the average, probably not going to last too long in the league. Okay. Career passing percentage is 66.7, 9,219 total yards in 4 years, 65 total touchdowns. His passing efficiency rating was 141.8, which is very high. Okay. He has 5 career 400-yard passing games, 2 career 500-yard passing games. He's a 2-time All Big Ten player, 4th in and this is in Purdue history. He's 4th in completions, 5th in touchdowns, 6th in passing yards. And in 2021, they won the Music City Bowl versus Tennessee. Okay, the SEC team, and they came back from that game. They were down by 21, came back and beat Tennessee. That was huge. That was big time. I'm really excited about this guy, Cole Breezy. I think that I'm not going to say, the Raiders are going to, they're going to make the playoffs this year. But hey, the sky's the limit with this guy right now. Just give him the ball, have some fun, throw it to Davante Adams, and give it to Josh Jacobs. When Aiden O'Connell played with Josh Jacobs, that one game that he started, Josh Jacobs had, I think, 6 catches, something on the lines of that. So you got to be excited if you are a Davante Adams fan or a fantasy owner. Same thing with Josh Jacobs. This guy's going to chuck it.
Yeah, let's get into Davante Adams since you brought him up. He's wide receiver 13 on the full season. Wide receiver 13, full PPR, but he's wide receiver 61 over the last 4 weeks. Wide receiver 61 over the last 4 weeks. He's only got 3 touchdowns on the year, and he hasn't had one since week 3. Your guy, Josh Jacobs, he also only has 3 touchdowns on the season. This is the problem with the Raiders. They have not scored more than 2 touchdowns in a game.
Oh,
They haven't scored more than 2 touchdowns in a game.
It's terrible.
I love your Nuggets from Aiden O'Connell, your guy O'Connell. But if the Raiders make the playoffs this year, I'll get an Aiden O'Connell jersey. I'll get an Aiden O'Connell fucking Raiders jersey if they make the playoffs.
Ooh.
Real
get
quick,
a Purdue jersey. I'll get an Aiden O'Connell Purdue. I prefer that one. That's kind of cool.
Lastly, here on the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo. Listen up, Zach. Turn up your headphones. He's QB 30 on the season. If you watched Monday night, that freaking awful. He missed Davante Adams multiple times. Davante Adams wide open. Jimmy G continues to miss him. Jimmy G, on Monday night against the Lions, was 10 for 21 passing for 126 yards and a pick. That's 6 yards per attempt. Max, do we ever see Jimmy G lead a team again?
I don't know why the Raiders in the first place signed him to a 3-year deal. I believe the general manager you brought up was also canned. Okay. Yeah. Why would you sign a guy that has tennis balls in his knees? I keep making this joke. No, he does not have tennis balls in his knees. It's just that he's been injured so many times, has had so many surgeries. Why would you go out of your way and sign a 3-year deal for this guy that was one of the stupidest decisions, I swear, that I've seen in recent memory in the NFL. Jimmy G sucks. Okay, it's time to move on. It's time to get it to someone younger. Aiden O'Connell's the guy.
Moving along this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got more NFL breaking news.
Oh, my goodness.
This time out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, a guy that I would say plenty of people like Kirk. He unfortunately ripped his Achilles. He ripped his Achilles this week. Kirk Cousins is 35 years old. This was his 12th season. He spent 6 with Washington. This was his 6th with Minnesota. Kirk Cousins this year leads the league in completions, attempts, and is tied for the league with Tua in passing touchdowns with 18. Kirk Cousins is slinging that thing, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, Cousins. I misunderestimated that. Wow.
Please. So what does Minnesota do? They turn around. They trade for Joshua Dobbs from Arizona. Now he having a solid year, threat guy. Tennessee picked him up last year for a late season push. Joshua Dobbs comes over. It was Josh Dobbs and a 7th rounder for a 6th rounder. Now I think Joshua Dobbs is a little bit more better than that.
Yeah.
Minnesota has come out and said they are not going to start Joshua Dobbs this week. They're going to the rookie, the 5th-round rookie from BYU, Jaren Hall. Now, I don't know if we want to wait a week for Joshua Dobbs to get the playbook down. I don't think you really need to wait on that. But we're going to the rookie this week. Max, what does that mean for Jordan Addison and TJ Hockenqueef? Jordan Addison is the wide receiver 11 on the season, full PPR, and TJ Hockenqueef is the tight end 2.
Oh man, I would be very, very nervous about those guys starting them. I mean, it's hard. You can't not stop TJ Hockenson. I mean, if you have someone else like a Dalton Kincaid or even a Dalton Schultz, a lot of Daltons out there, then maybe it's okay to sit Hockenqueef this week. But you're okay. You're not sitting them. Okay, it's not going to happen. You're going to throw them out there. I don't know. I would definitely be nervous with this rookie under center.
Look out now. Minnesota has won 3 in a row. They're 4-4. They're 2 games back of the Lions. They can fight for a wild card. They're still in the division race here. But Max, if the losses pile up, if Joshua Dobbs doesn't get a chance, doesn't get it done, if they stick with the rookie and he's a queef, if the losses pile up, do we see Justin Jefferson coming back this year?
Ooh,
let's not forget they couldn't come to an agreement on a contract extension before the season started. He's set to become a free agent after next season. I could see him being like, "No, Kirk Cousins. Why am I coming back for an average team?"
Yeah. Oh, very good call on that. Man, yeah. Does Justin Jefferson not even play this season? As fantasy owners, the best wide receiver in the game for fantasy purpose. I mean, he probably is just the best wide receiver in the game. He's pretty dominating. Man, that's sad to hear. Even not having him on my fantasy team. I like watching the guy. It's always a bummer. Like when Nick Chubb went out, obviously I was in tears. You hate seeing big time guys go out. So and obviously Kirk Cousins too. It's a bummer that he's out as well.
Yeah, it sucks. Minnesota, the injuries are kind of piling up.
Yeah,
they're kind of piling up for Queef Wilson in our fantasy league. Just if Justin Jefferson doesn't come back, oh boy, he could be taking a teddy bear out to dinner. Oh boy. Moving along here, let's talk about the NFL trade deadline, Max. That happened on, what was it, Tuesday, yesterday?
yeah.
Came down yesterday. Not a lot of fantasy relevant moves, not a lot of offensive players moving. You see Donovan Peoples-Jones go to the Lions, but that's not really anything to talk about. But we see three solid big name pass rushers get moves yesterday. And let's start first with Chase Young. Chase Young moves from Washington, the former number 2 pick. He goes to the 49ers. The Washington football Queefs receive a 3rd rounder in this deal. San Francisco, you might be surprised to hear, is ranked 24th in pressure percentage.
Oh,
Chase Young, only 24 years old. This is his 4th season. He's going to improve that number there, Max.
oh yeah, him with Bosa, those two guys. Oh my, that is a nasty duo right there. I'm sure that's going to motivate him quite a bit more while he's at it. Just being there.
Still only 24 years old. Second big trade, also coming from Washington, the Washington football Queefs. For some reason, they're cleaning house here on defense, but they moved 27-year-old Montez Sweat to your Chicago Bears, Max. Montez Sweat this season is top 10 in sacks and QB pressures. This is his 5th year in the league. Can you explain this to me? Like the Bears are not in contention. So they move a 2nd round pick. They traded a 2nd round pick to get this guy. He's 27 years old. Can you explain this move to me, Max?
The Bears organization is shit. Okay. They don't make good moves. I like Sweat. I think he's a good player, but you already said it. He's 27. His number's getting ranked soon. The Bears are so frustrating. It's really, really frustrating being a Bears fan because they make these moves and you're just like, what in the like they're making such a big hype that our backup quarterback Badgett is he's making his first start. It's our dream come true. And is he the answer for the Bears? No, he's not the answer for the Bears. He's not. No, are you serious? Really? Like, stop it. Stop. And so, yeah, this guy coming over. I mean, that's what the Bears do. They always go for defense. They always try to, beef up that defense. But they suck. The Bears suck. Why don't you just, take it easy? Take it easy and get a top 5 pick this season. How about that?
That would be smart. They move a 2nd rounder this year for Montez Sweat. They moved a 2nd rounder last year for Chase Claypool, who they couldn't even get on the field. And
that was so stupid.
They moved him for what, a 7th rounder to Miami? I mean, just wasting 2nd round picks right now in Chicago. Last trade we want to talk about from this year's NFL trade deadline. Big man in the middle for the Giants, Leonard Williams, 6'5", 300 out of USC. He moves to Seattle. Seattle wants to brush up that run D. Mm-hmm. Leonard Williams is 29 years old. This is his 9th season. He's been in the league for a little while. The Giants in the deal receive a 24 2nd rounder and a 25 5th rounder.
Ooh.
Now, this was the most capital here out of these 3 guys, Max. Only a 3rd rounder for Chase Young, a 2nd rounder for Montez Sweat, but a 2nd and a 5th for Leonard Williams here from the Giants. Seahawks are pushing for that division. It's going to be them and the Niners. What do you think about this move for the Seahawks?
I have a client who is a Seahawks fan, and I brought this up before. And one thing that he kept bringing up for a couple of years now is that, oh man, we got no draft capital. We don't have any draft picks. We keep trading them. Like, we're not going to get anybody young. So it's and again, they did it again. They got someone old and traded a 2nd and a 5th round pick. Like, obviously what they're thinking right now is they want to go to the Super Bowl. They think that they can get to the Super Bowl this year. Can they? Maybe. I don't know. I look at that team and I just see, they're okay. They're all right. I don't know. So that's really all I got on that.
I like the Seahawks. I put a little bit of money on them at the beginning of the season to win the division to take down the Niners. They got a juicy one this week, but they're 5-2. Solid
Yeah.
season. Solid season for the Seahawks right now.
All right, everybody. Now we are moving on to another segment. Are we right here, Cole Breezy? A fun segment that we've been doing for the past few weeks, and I cannot believe that it's been week after week that this continues to happen. We said that this is a rarity, but what is this, four, maybe 5 straight weeks? We're talking about a Hades 3-headed dogs.
Oh.
We got 2 this week, Cole Breezy. 2.
Yeah.
All right. Let's lead it off with your guy,
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins of Tennessee. All right.
Hell yeah.
I was able to watch this game, Cole Breezy. It was on the telly here in Tennessee. They were taking on Atlanta. They had 4 total touchdowns with Will Mayo Levis. he looked great, by the way. He really did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He looked good. Okay, so Ryan Tannequeef, bye-bye. Will Levis's turn. But let's go to DeAndre Hopkins. What a game that he had. He had 4 catches for 128 yards and 3 tutties. And he had 37.8 fantasy points in our fantasy football league. Cole Breezy, he was on your bench. How do you feel about that?
I feel like, the process was correct in making that call. You got Ryan Tannehill's ruled out, and Mike Vrabel is saying we're gonna mix up Will Levis and Malik Willis. You hear that, you're like, oh my God, D-Hop could goose you. He could goose you. So yeah, I had to leave him on my bench. I got Garrett Wilson, I got Brandon Ayuk, I got Tyler Lockett. So
yeah, solid.
But damn it, you better be mistaken. You better not be mistaken. He's in my lineup for tomorrow night against Pittsburgh. D-Hop is in my lineup. Just to talk about Mr. Mayo Levis real quick, his 4 touchdown passes. This was the 3rd time in NFL history where a guy threw 4 touchdowns in his debut. And one of them was actually Marcus Mariota. I think that's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
But Will Levis, his 4 touchdown passes, the yardage on those 4, 47, 16, 61, and 33.
Ooh, yeah.
3 touchdowns over 30 yards. He's got that deep ball locked in with D-Hop. My goodness, this season might not be over in Nashville, Max.
Definitely not. Look at Will Levis's arms. Okay, he's pretty ripped. All right, that guy can chuck it. Okay, and I'm excited to see more. I'm even looking up potentially more tickets to go see them at the Nissan Stadium.
Well, don't make me jealous.
Well, sorry. All right, let's move on. The next guy, I would be surprised if he was in your lineups. He was in our league. He wasn't in the lineup. It might have been just he had to start him. But we got Gus Bust Edwards of the Baltimore Ravens. He was taking on Arizona at Arizona. He had 80 rushing yards, 3 tutties, and a total of 28.4 fantasy points on the day. Hey, we make fun of Gus Edwards as Gus Bust, but when you score 3 touchdowns in a game and become a Hades 3-headed dog, you got to give some respect to that man.
Gus Bust Edwards now top 20 back on the season. I think Baltimore can cut ties with J.K. Dobbins if he ever becomes healthy. I think they can use Gus Edwards as their dog. But I see that he didn't practice today on Wednesday because of a toe. So let's keep that.
Oh, jeez.
Queef Wilson, you better watch that injury report.
Okay. Yeah. Queef toe.
Max, let's move into our NFL game picks.
All right.
For the Week 9 NFL slate. Week 9, Max. Oh, my goodness. We got 4 teams on a bye this week. 4 teams on a bye. They are the San Francisco 49ers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Detroit Lions, the NFC North leading Detroit Lions, and the Denver Broncos. They had to take a week off after that 24-9 win over Kansas City last week. Let's not sleep on that.
How about that?
They get a nice week off. But let's start here, Max. Tomorrow night, Thursday night football on Prime Video. We got the Tennessee Titans sitting at 3-4, coming off a solid win last week over Atlanta, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are sitting at 4-3. Going to be tough to get a win in Steel City. Max, what are you thinking here?
Oh man, I was juggling it. My heart here being in Tennessee, I'm like, oh, come on, Titans. Come on, Titans. But sorry, I'm not. I am going the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's hard to win at their place. And they have a solid defense. The numbers don't show it, but man, I'm telling you, like I don't know. I mean, I think it was just the beginning of the season where the Steelers defense wasn't hot because they're doing really well right now.
I'll tell you right now, on the season, the Steelers are 29th against wide receivers, and that's why D Hop is in my lineup, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers are only 2-2 at home this year, 2-2 at home, so it's
Okay.
doable. You know what? Last week was the only week I haven't picked my Titans to win, and they fucking won. They surprised me. I'm going back to my Titans this week, Max.
Hey, good pick.
Mr. Mayo, Malik Willis didn't even play last week. Okay, it was Will Levis from the start.
Well, he played. He fumbled the ball, and then they
Did he?
sat him. Yeah. He fumbled the ball.
Wow.
He said hike, fumbled
Didn't
it.
even
But
miss
actually,
that.
to back him up, it was actually a bad snap. I will give it to that.
Wow.
But he did lose the fumble. So they said, nope, Will Levis.
Missed that.
Yeah.
I think Will Levis carries that momentum over. He's got something going with D Hop. The King, Derrick Henry. He sniffs something. He gets rumbling now that it's getting colder out. Those boys aren't going to want to hit him on Thursday night in Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Those boys aren't going to want to hit him. Titans on the road.
Nice call.
Let's move on to Sunday. Max, we're back in our overseas games here, this time in Germany. And
Yeah.
damn it, I think this got to be the juiciest one of the week. This is the juiciest one of the week 9 slate. Both teams sitting at 6-2. The Dolphins and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, he had the flu last week, and we saw that 24-9 defeat to the Denver Broncos out here.
Poor guy.
Miami Dolphins, they're a hot team, and Max, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I like it.
I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins. I love their offense. I love their offense. Yeah. 6-2. So, it didn't show up in Buffalo. It didn't show up in Philadelphia, but Kansas City, I don't think they're on that level defensively. So I'm going to take Miami in this Germany game.
I like it. I've been hoping that there was going to be a shootout game, back and forth, score back and forth. I think this one could be it because Miami's offense is so dominating. But then you already know that the Chiefs with Patty Mahomes and Travis Kelce is dominating. How can it not go back and forth? Okay, these defenses are not that good. Chiefs defense are looking better than they have been over the years. Don't get me wrong, but I think Miami's defense is too good. Miami's offense is too good against a mediocre defense. I think it's a back and forth game. You better be starting a lot of different players from both of these. I got Tua. He's starting for sure. I cannot wait. I will be up and ready to go at 8:30 in the morning here in Nashville.
That's gonna be a juicy one.
I'm sorry. I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs.
Okay.
I have the Chiefs.
Jeez, we're both getting ahead of ourselves. Picking the Chiefs. Okay. Moving into Sunday morning games. Both teams sitting at 4-4. We got the Minnesota Vikings going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons disappointed us last week in Nashville. Minnesota, they're starting a rookie quarterback, and are you going to take them, Max, with that rookie?
I'm not going Minnesota. I'm definitely going the Falcons. The Falcons actually they sat Desmond Ridder, and then they ended up throwing in.
He has been named the starter for this week. Taylor Heinicke.
Yes, respect for Taylor Heinicke. He looked good. He definitely turned it up for Atlanta in that second half, but it was already gone. Tennessee already had the momentum in that game. But for this, Taylor Heinicke should be the starter. He makes Atlanta look way better. So I got Atlanta. Minnesota's banged up, man.
Yeah, we'll see. Minnesota's banged up. We'll see if Drake London plays. But Taylor Heinicke, I think, is an upgrade from Desmond Ridder.
Yes.
Moving along, we got the 1-7 Arizona Cardinals. Just moved their quarterback, Joshua Dobbs. They're reportedly going to start Clayton Tune, if you ever heard of him, this week. They're going to Cleveland to be introduced to Myles Garrett and that defensive line, and this is going to be a pounding. Browns,
I got nothing else to say. That defense is for real on that Browns front. Ooh.
Moving along, we got the 3-5 Los Angeles Rams going to Green Bay in Lambeau to take on the 2-5 Packers. Don't look now, Max. The Packers have lost 4 in a row Don't know if Jordan Love's the answer. Matthew Stafford, he's day-to-day. He's going to be a game-time decision with a sprained UCL in his
That's
thumb.
not good. That's not good.
Might be Brett ripping the ball around for the Rams. Who you taking in this game?
Oh, geez. I actually do have the Rams after a brutal beating last week. They just got stomped. They got stomped. It was whipped. Oh, man. It was not even close. Not even close. But I think that they're going to pull through against the Packers. Packers just don't look good. They are not looking good.
Yeah, I think the Rams have more talent here. I'm with you on the Rams. The Packers were reportedly interested in running backs for around the trade deadline. Now, you got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. That's a solid combo, but not getting it done. Not getting it done.
Nope.
I heard this one today. Romeo Doubs leads the NFL in end zone targets. So, gosh, I don't know. I don't know how many tutties he has, but it's not enough. The 2 and 5.
Yeah, that's for true.
Moving along, we got a snoozer here. We got the 3 and 5 Washington Football Queefs. They just cleaned house on their defensive line, so maybe Ramondre Stevenson and the Patriots are going to run all over them. Do you see that happening, Max?
I think it's definitely a possibility. I definitely would be starting Ramondre this week. There's one other guy that maybe you would start on New England in Kendrick Bourne, because I think he's had a couple extra. No, wait, he's not playing or what? Or I wouldn't start him.
ACL, boys.
Oh, he's done. Oh, he had a touchdown last week, and then he's still done.
ACL.
Well, that's a bummer. Nice insight on that, Cole Breezy. I got the Patriots. Washington, you already said they cleaned the house, so you better believe the Patriots are going to get something here.
Yeah, new ownership in Washington. I think they want a fresh start. It starts this week. They're going to lose to Bill in New England. I hope the Patriots can score enough points. I hope the Pats can score enough points, and if they do, Ramondre is going to have a nice game for me. I'm excited. Staying in the morning games on Sunday, the 2 and 6 Chicago Bears with their big pickup of Montez Sweat for a second rounder. Back-to-back second rounders moved. They're going to New Orleans to take on the 4 and 4 Saints. Max, you see a little upset here in New Orleans?
I told you I lost all faith in my Bears. They look so bad. The Saints. I got the Saints. There's not much more to say. Saints are looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Saints won by 11 in Indy last week. Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill. I don't know if you saw Taysom Hill. 2 touchdowns last week. 2 touchdowns. For me.
Nice start. Okay, but such a hit or miss. It's either you have a 2 touchdown, 20 fantasy points, or you have a goose or a 0.66 rushing yards. It's hit or miss.
It's nice to play running back in your tight end spot. And, I went on Sunday morning and I was thinking about swapping him out, because the reason I picked him up was because he was playing tight end and getting a lot of targets, Taysom Hill. And Juwan Johnson was out of the lineup for those games, and now he was back in. So I was thinking, geez, this guy could goose me. But you know what? I stuck to my guns. I left him in there, and 2 tutties got me the W. Taysom Hill, a guy that we've talked a lot of shit about for Vulture and Alvin Kamara. But hey, he's getting it done for the Saints. He's a hybrid weapon for them.
You're just happy he's on your team. If he wasn't on your team, you'd be pissed off.
Yeah, probably. Moving along in the morning games, we got another juicy one here, Max. This is a top 4 juicy game in the week. We got a lot of juicy ones on the slate.
Oh, yeah.
The 5 and 2 Seattle Seahawks going to Baltimore to take on the 6 and 2 Ravens. Max, don't look now. The Ravens have won 3 in a row, 4 of 5. They're heating up. Seahawks got a good win over the Browns last week. How do you see this game playing out?
Ooh, it's going to be a tight one. Okay, it's going to be a really good game here. We're looking at a 24-21 type of scenario here. I think it's going to be really good. I think the running game of the Seahawks is going to look good this week. And but Baltimore just it's looking great. They're passing the ball more. Lamar, I think, had 4 2 weeks ago. I think it was 4 total touchdowns, but last week they still killed. I got Baltimore. Okay, I got Baltimore. I think it's going to be a close game, like I said, but Baltimore's got it at home.
I got to go Baltimore with you too. 6-point favorite, Baltimore. I think that's too many points. There's too many points. This game's going to be tighter than 6 points.
Yeah.
Last game in the morning slate. the 3-4 Buccaneers, coming off that Thursday night loss to the Bills. They're going on the road to take on the Houston Texans, also 3-4. Texans let me down last week at Carolina, giving the Panthers their first win.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Buccaneers on the road with a couple days extra rest. Fuck Houston. They suck.
I'm gonna flip and I'm gonna go Houston. Okay. I think that brutal beating to Carolina is got to be like, okay, what the hell was that? What the heck was that? All right, we got to wake up here and we got to get some redemption at home. So I'm going Houston. The Buccaneers, they don't excite me at all.
Moving, well, I think they're more talented. I think they're more talented than the Houston Texans, the Buccaneers, with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Solid twosome right there.
Yeah.
Moving to the afternoon slate on Sunday. There's only 3 games here in the afternoon slate. Only 3 games this week. We got first up, we got the 3-5 Indianapolis Colts going to Carolina. We just talked about the Panthers getting their first win last week. They're 1-6. Gonna have boots on the ground for this one, Max. Sam, our buddy Queef Sam's gonna be in
nice.
attendance in Carolina for this one.
Carolina. Oh,
in
snap.
Carolina. Yeah. That rushing defense of the Panthers, it sucks. They're 31st against running backs. Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, they might both score. Colts gonna get this one done on the road.
I got the Colts. I misunderestimated the Colts this year. I know we bash on them a lot saying they suck. I think it's just mostly because of the whole Jonathan Taylor situation in the beginning of the season. But now that they're rolling with them, they look solid. Okay, other than Gardner Minshew, he sucks. But if they run the ball, they look good.
Yeah, go Jonathan Taylor.
I got Colts.
Go Jonathan Taylor this week.
Yeah.
Moving along, we got a snoozer here, Max. If you're not a Giants fan, if you're not a Raiders fan, I don't know why the hell you'd be watching this game. The Giants are 2-6. They're going to Vegas to take on the 3-5 Raiders. If we could pick a tie here, I might pick a tie because this game blows. But I'll go with the home team. Aiden O'Connell feeds Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has a big game. Raiders get this one done at home.
I am also going the Raiders. I'm rooting for Aiden O'Connell and Josh Jacobs, baby. Come on. Let's have a good game here, Raiders. Let's wake up a little bit now that you have a little spark and you don't have to be under the rule of Jeff McDaniels and his shit.
Yeah. Last game in the afternoon slate. Juicy. Another juicy one here. Divisional matchup, the 5-2 Dallas Cowboys going to Philly to take on the Eagles, sitting at 7-1. I got to go with the home team here, Max. I think the Eagles are better. A.J. Brown just set the NFL record last week for 6 straight games, over 125 receiving yards. He keeps it rolling against the Cowboys. I think this one's going to be a shootout. We want to talk about the Dolphins and Chiefs being a shootout. I agree with that. This one right here, this one's going to be a shootout too.
I hope so. What a fun game. I love this divisional matchup, especially when they're both really, really good teams. I also got the Eagles at home. I love their offense, the way that they're playing. Cobrizzi, the Cowboys defense is ranked number 1. Okay. I believe the Eagles defense is ranked top 10. It might be 13th. Okay. 13th. Okay. Would you start either of those defenses in this game? Cowboys are number 1. They have 4 touchdowns on the year. 4.
Depends on who else is out there. I know a lot of backup quarterbacks are starting this week, so you might want to go check your free agency pool because I think there's a lot of options that aren't usually options for defenses this week because of the lack of quarterback play. That's a tough call. I got to go check. You got to go check. Who are you going in this game though?
Eagles. I got the Eagles.
Okay. Yep. That juicy game is going to lead right into another juicy game. The 4 big juicy games this week. This is the last one of the juiciest games we're going to talk about. Prime time NBC Sunday night. Waiting all day for this. Don't call me. Don't text me. I'm watching this fucking game. Don't bother me this week on Sunday night. Got the 5-3 Buffalo Bills going to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and the 4-3 Bengals. Bengals are heating up. Bills have a couple extra days of rest off that Thursday night game. How you feeling about this one, Max?
Oh, you said it. I'll be definitely telling my wife, hey, Sorry, I'm watching the Sunday night game. I know you want to watch a movie or a TV show. Not happening. Not happening. I gotta watch this one. I have to. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to be thinking about it while watching the movie. I'm not even going to pay attention. I'm not going to pay attention to the movie. I'm going to think about the game. Highlights, and my watch is going to be buzzing the entire game. This is a extra juicy game. I love the matchup. The Bengals have woken up. Joe Burrow is back. Okay. Jamar Chase is looking like the best wide receiver in the game. I got the Bengals. I got the Bengals at home. They're red hot. I'm even considering starting Joe Burrow, but I like Tua against the Chiefs in Germany. I think that's gonna be a fun one. So,
Max, I gotta agree with you with the Bengals in this one. I was back and forth.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow, I believe he is back. 43 rushing yards last week. His previous high on the season was 7. Okay. 43 rushing yards last week. I believe that calf is feeling better. That was my main thing with Joe Burrow all off season, all the first month of the season was that calf. That's why I wasn't confident in him in the Bengals. It looks right. He's back. In the Bills, last 4 weeks, they beat the Buccaneers by 6 last week, okay? They lose to the Patriots by 4 the week before. They beat the Giants 14-9 in that Sunday night snoozer. And the week before that, they lost to the Jaguars by 5. Bills, something's going on with the Bills. We both picked them in the Super Bowl. I don't think they figure it out in Cincinnati. Bengals get this one done in prime time.
Heck yeah.
Moving along to Monday Night Football on ESPN. The 3-4 Los Angeles Chargers back in primetime again this week. A lot of primetime games for Justin Herbert this year. Also, a lot of primetime games is the Jets. The Jets are in the spotlight a lot. They're 4-3. Okay, this one's going to be in New York. How do you feel about this game, Max?
The Jets defense is for real. Okay, I know that the Chargers are supposed to have this number one offense, but going up against a team like a defense like this, Cole Breezy, would you start the Jets defense? I believe they're ranked 7th in our fantasy league. They have at least 10 fantasy points and at least three straight in the past 3 weeks. Would you start them against the Chargers?
I'm gonna go no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go no. I think because I have the Chargers in this game. I'll say that I have the Chargers in this game.
I do too.
I don't think the Jets can score with them. The Jets can't seem to score with Zach Wilson as their quarterback. Disappointing season, but they're 4-3. They're 4-3.
It's that defense, man. They keep them in games. Last week, Zach Wilson looked terrible, but that Jets defense, they just they gave up 0 passing yards. 0. How do you do that?
Passing? How is that even? Yeah.
They gave up 0 passing yards.
Giants. How is it? If you watched that game last week, God bless you. God bless you. That Giants Jets game last week. God, there was no winners in that game.
No.
I know one team had more points on the scoreboard, but nobody won that game.
No.
Moving into the last segment this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we appreciate everybody sticking with us for the Extra Juicy Dawgs of the week. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. This is where we... whoa.
Full moon tonight.
Full moon, Halloween. This is where we give you a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end that you can put in your fantasy lineups. Maybe he's a sleeper lower in the rankings. You can throw right in there, flex worthy, smash it because of the matchup. This is where we give our My Buddy, Mr. Tutty guarantees. And if you watched last week, we were 4 for 4 on here, Max.
Yeah, we nailed it. Heck yeah.
We were 4 for 4 on our My Buddy, Mr. Tutty guarantees. Why don't you lead us off with your extra juicy dog at the quarterback position?
At the quarterback position, okay. Sorry, everybody. I know this one is not that exciting. I'm going Patty Mahomes as the extra juicy dog, okay, because of this juicy game against the Dolphins. Dolphins defense against quarterbacks is ranked 27th. This guy's going to have a field day. And why it's going to be so much fun is that because Miami has such a powerhouse offense, Patty Mahomes is going to have to keep up. Vice versa. Maybe it's Tua that has to keep up. Either way, they're going to go back and forth. Okay, this is going to be a touchdown Patty, a touchdown Tua, touchdown Patty. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's going to be called the shootout. Mahomes was sick last week. Okay, you better believe he wants redemption in Germany. Start him.
I like the pick. The only reason I picked the Dolphins, not the only reason, but a big reason is because that flu for Patty Mahomes, and he's gonna have to go travel to Germany now. Who knows how much weight he lost? Who knows how he's feeling? I'm going Dolphins in that game, but like you said, it's gonna be a shootout. Good pick with Patty there. My extra juicy dog at the quarterback position is another juicy game here, the Cowboys-Eagles game. I'm going Dak Prescott. We sit here on this podcast, we call him crap Prescott sometimes. But last week, he had 304 yards and 4 tutties against the Rams.
Yeah.
That 43-20 smacking. They might have figured some things out over the bye week, the previous week they had the bye. And that might be CD Lamb feeding him a little bit more.
Yeah. Give him the ball. He's the best player on the field. Get him the damn ball.
No doubt. This Cowboy-Eagles game has a 46-point over-under. That's third highest on the week. The Eagles are 30th against quarterbacks. The Eagles are 30th against quarterbacks. Sam Howell for the Washington Football Queefs was just QB1 last week with 397 yards and 4 touchdowns. Fire up Dak Prescott if you got him this week.
I like it.
Who you got for your extra juicy dog at the running back position?
Moving on to the running back, okay, actually, this guy, he better be in your lineups, okay, because I'm going to go with Breece Hall of the New York Jets, okay? Breece Hall, okay, is the only reason on offense that the Jets are staying alive, okay? In the past 3 games, he's had at least, he has 3 touchdowns, okay? 3 straight touchdowns, including a receiving touchdown. This guy catches the ball and he rushes the ball. He's outstanding. He's going up against the Chargers. The Chargers are ranked 21st against the run. But once again, Breece Hall is a great pass catcher in the backfield. I'm not guaranteeing a touchdown. Not going to guarantee it. I don't know. I was thinking about it. I honestly was.
3 straight games. 3 straight games.
I wanted to go forward, but it's hard. It's hard to go forward in a row. Breece Hall is an excellent start. He better be in those fantasy lineups, everybody.
Breece Hall is looking like a fantasy keeper if he played a keeper league. He's made Dalvin Cook very irrelevant when we thought that was a big signing. We thought that was a big signing. My extra juicy dog at the running back position is going to be New Orleans Saint Alvin Kamara. We haven't talked much about him this year. We did last year with the, NFL's biggest douchebag nominee.
Stop the yard, Kamara.
Stop the yard, Kamara. But he's running back 3 on a points per game basis this year. Running back 3 on a points per game basis. His touches starting with week 4. Okay, he had that 3-game suspension. Starting in week 4, his touches 24, 25. 26, 29, 21.
Damn.
Despite missing those 3 games, he leads the position with 39 receptions and 44 targets. 39 for 44, that's a damn good catch percentage. Holy moly.
Yeah.
The Bears, they're 25th against running backs. They're going to get beat down in New Orleans. There's going to be some Mardi Gras beads, some anal beads rolled around on the Bears this weekend.
Yeah.
Saints are 7.5-point home favorites, and usually that means a touchdown for the running back. But with Taysom Hill screwing things around, I can't guarantee anything for Alvin Kamara. RB3 on a points per game basis. Fire up Kamara this week in your lineups.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Who is your extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position for week 9?
Ooh, we are going to stay in New Orleans. Okay. Apparently those Mardi Gras beads that were probably shoved in someone's ass, extra stinky out there. It's not as fun as everyone thinks it is. Okay. If you're drunk, you probably don't even smell that was in someone's ass. But, I would definitely think twice before putting on some of those beads that are being tossed at you. But I got Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints. Now, I'm bringing up Chris Olave because this guy is a stud. He's a stud player, but he only has 1 touchdown this season. 1 touchdown. It's about time that they get this guy rolling, right? I think the Bears are a good team to go against. The Bears are ranked 18th against the pass. Don't get me wrong, Jalen Johnson is a great cornerback. I love Jalen Johnson. He was one of our real role models in sports. But I think that Chris Olave is getting in the end zone in In New Orleans. My buddy, Mr. Tutty for Chris Olave. He better be in your
Wow.
lineups against the Chicago Bears.
Wow. Nice call on that. Only one on the season. That's yeah. We both went to New Orleans for Extra Juicy Dog this week. Chris Olave, wide receiver 26 in full PPR, solid. You wanted more though. You wanted more from
Yeah.
Chris Olave.
Yes.
My Extra Juicy Dog at the wide receiver position. I'm going with a stack here, Max. I'm going with my quarterback, Dak Prescott. Gonna be feeding CD Lamb, baby.
Yeah, I love it.
Your guy. He was the number one overall player in week 8 with 12 catches for 158 yards and 2 tutties against the Rams. He had 7 for a $1.17 the game before the bye. Looks like Dak and CD are really, really firing up right now. He's wide receiver 9 in full PPR. I already mentioned that 46-point over-under for the Cowboy-Eagles game is third highest on the week. The Eagles are dead last against wide receivers. Eagles are dead last against wide receivers. His 3 touchdowns on the season isn't enough. I think CD Lamb, I think he's a special receiver. I think he's better. I think he's better than what he's showing right now. 3 touchdowns isn't enough. This is week 9. My buddy, Mr. Tutty, right here.
Yeah, I love
CD
it.
Lamb's getting
Love
one,
it.
baby. This is going to be a shootout with the Eagles. They're not going to win. I got the Eagles at home in this game, but this baby's going to be back and forth. It's going to be juicy. I got a nice Dak Prescott, CD Lamb stack right here.
Love that pick. I love CD Lamb. You already know in my fantasy team, I'm looking at a keeper.
Yeah. As you should be, Max. As you should be. Give me your Extra Juicy Dog at the tight end position to finish us up here.
Okay. At the tight end position, this is the first time on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast that I have done this. Okay. I normally like to spice things up a little bit, but I am once again going Dalton Kincaid of the Buffalo Bills 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
All right.
I looked at him.
Okay. I cannot talk about this guy enough. Okay. This guy is exciting the hell out of me. I love this guy. Okay.
Wow.
Dude, best tight end coming out of the draft. He was a stud at Utah. I knew that as soon as Dawson Knox went down, that he was going to he's going to start getting the ball. Okay. He's at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is ranked dead last, Cole Breezy, number 32 against tight ends. Okay. On the season so far, Dalton Kincaid is 30 out of 34, 30 catches out of 34 attempts to him. Okay. Targets. Thank you. Targets. Look at that efficiency, man. Okay. He had a touchdown last week, and I'm telling you right now, I'm calling another my buddy, Mr. Tutty, 2 weeks in a row for Dalton Kincaid.
Whoa.
You better be in your lineups, everybody. You better be excited about this young rookie and the Buffalo Bills. They need him. The Bills need him. They got to start throwing the ball a little bit more other than just to Stephon Diggs. They got to start getting Dalton Kincaid in the mix.
You called it last week for his first career touchdown. You're calling it again. Oh my goodness.
First time ever that I did back-to-back weeks, Go Breezy.
That sounds a little greedy. But my Extra Juicy Dog at the tight end position is another Dalton. It's another Dalton, this time Dalton Schultz in Houston.
Nice, yeah.
You know, we've sat here sometimes and called him Dalton Sharts because he sometimes gooses you. But this week he's got a solid matchup. He's tight end 14 on the year. He had a rough game last week in Carolina, and that let down. He had 2 catches for 5 yards. But the 3 games before that, Max, 4 catches for 61 and a touchdown, 7 catches for 65 and a touchdown, 3 catches for 42 and a touchdown. He had 3 straight tutties. He had 3 straight tutties before that last game in Carolina. Houston looks to rebound back at home. You know, I took who's Houston playing again? Buccaneers. Yeah,
Bucks. Yeah,
I'm taking the Buccaneers in a close one there. Houston's 3-point home favorites. The Bucks are 15th against tight ends, so middle of the pack. I think Dalton Schultz is getting the volume that he needs back at home. Not going to guarantee a touchdown, but you can start Dalton Schultz if you're having some tight end problems.
I like that pick. Both the Daltons this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast for your tight end starts. They better be in your lineups, everybody, if you have them.
Good tight end name, I guess. Well, that'll do us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for this week for the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. We appreciate everybody coming out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Max, can you tell them where they can do that at?
Yes. Please, yeah. Again, like, comment, and subscribe us on YouTube. Hey, we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Twitter. Okay, come on, please. We need your subscriptions. We want some comments. We want some feedback. And for the fans out there that are already doing it, we appreciate you guys. And hey, please continue to come out and support the crew. We love talking sports with you guys. And other than that, Cole Breezy, hey, another great episode, another fun week, and some really, really juicy games coming this week.
Those 4 juicy games, better have them on. You know, you got a Germany game at 7:30 out here in Denver. So it's going to be games all day, all night. It's going to be a good weekend. Can't wait to watch these games, Max.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.